Hey guys, this is Aegis. I know I haven't been here for a while, but that's because I've been so busy with school. But I have a game here that I played on the ladder a few days ago. Um, I guess once in a while I played a single game a day. Um, I guess that's not even a day, it's just like a single game because I just had to. So I'm spawning over here as the Blue Protoss player. Strange is going to be my opponent. This is Diamond on the ladder. So we'll see how well I did. I don't quite remember this game. I do know that it was long because I saw the replay bar thing. It was like really long. So I'm gonna be going for a fast expansion, which is what I enjoy doing on these maps or on any map. That's just generally how I play. I don't really do any sort of that one-based type stuff. Over here, Strange getting his Overlord in position. Going to be looking to hover over that natural expansion just to protect against any sort of possible cannon rush, but I do know that I don't do that. I'm just going to be scouting into the main to see exactly what's going on. The Overlord does see my probe arrive, and it looks like I'm sending my probe out a little bit early. This is actually a full 2 food early for that expansion, so I guess this probe is going to be hanging out for a while. Kind of boosting out the probes, and I think, actually no, I do notice that it was a little bit early. It looks like he will return the minerals back, and my probe is going to scout for a natural expansion once again, popping back into the main to see if there is the spawning pool. And it looks like Strange is going to be going out there to throw down the natural expansion. Looks like no, he turns around to fight my probe. Does he kill it off? I guess he does. Um, as you might know, my micro is not the best. There's my probe headed up to the front. Looks like I will be throwing down a forge real soon. There's a forge coming up. And I remember, I guess I remember that I thought that was a couple of Zerglings killing off my probe. So I quickly threw down another gateway. And then I'm looking to close this off. I was trying to decide whether or not I should do a full wall with another gateway, or if I should be dropping a pylon. Looks like I just keep the probe there for a while. I do stop making probes, which is just terrible in this situation, especially with me going for that fast expand. Wow, that's a long period of not making probes. I guess I was trying to save up money for possibly the wall off, and looks like I do go with the single pylon wall. And over here, Strange does have his first injects going down over here. His natural expansion also finishing up. He's got his Overlord positioning itself over my possible third base. Double gas coming up for me, and that is very standard here, getting the double gas for Protoss. With these two expansions, the mineral income is just a gigantic. Looks like I do recognize that there are no Zerglings coming, and I'm not making a Zealot. That's probably a mistake because usually Zerg players will put on a little bit of pressure if they did produce a couple of Zerglings, and what I saw was I thought there were Zerglings, so I should have made a Zealot over here. If I knew that was not Zerglings, then this is completely okay, which in this case, it would be completely okay. Because Strange only made, I think, 2 sets of Zerglings. Looks like his first trying to make its way into my base, and it will not happen. The cannon does get a single kill. Chrono Boost going down on the Nexus once again. Wow, the energy over here, that is very bad. And there's the little transfer of probes over to my natural expansion. And finally, the Chrono Boost going down on the Zealots. I maybe recognized that I was making a mistake over here. And the Chrono Boost is going to go down over there. I think I send a Zealot across the map to see if he has that third base. And Chrono Boost also going down on the Warp Gate tech. It is quite late because I took a very fast expansion. Continuing to make probes here. I really should be chrono boosting my Nexi to make sure that I get an optimal amount of probes out quickly enough to match the Zerg opponent. And there's the first Zealot headed across the field, and my second Zealot blocking the ramp over here. Looks like that Zealot will get 1 kill off on that Zergling. Strange is going to be throwing down a spine crawler, interestingly enough. I guess he may be afraid of a little bit of a push. He's getting double Evo Chamber, as he does know that I have my natural expansion up, and he will want to start those upgrades as well as getting out those extra bases early enough to help combat the Protoss in the late game. And there's the lair on the way. That's a pretty fast lair out of Strange. And there's also one of the upgrades starting, and the second upgrade also starting for the Zerglings. That's the missile attack, so it looks like he will be going roaches. My Zealot does make it over here to see exactly what's going on. Just poking in the front, losing the shields, and headed towards that third base. And I do see the third base, and I don't remember what my response was. I do have my double forge now, a Twilight Council on the way, and my second forge. So I will be on double forge soon, and there's my drop of gateways. I was, I think, deciding between pushing here or trying to take a third base. Either way, I would need a couple of units in order to do that. My probe is headed out to the third. Actually, that's a very fast third base for Protoss. Not so fast if you compare it to the pros, but of course, I'm not too good with micro, and that's generally how they hold their third expansion against any sort of roach pressure, which Strange could opt to do, as he does have a roach warren out in the field. There's his third queen on the way. Sort of no creep adjoining his bases, so that's something that Strange would want to work on. And he is also quite supply blocked at 54 food. Finally, a couple of overlords popping for him. My third base is about halfway complete, and a couple of gateways now popping up. And you might notice that this is very dangerous. I'm chrono boosting upgrades. I have a single Zealot out in the field. That's my entire army. And I'm finally getting up a couple of warp gates. There's a blink gonna be coming up. And I think I do a little bit of blink pressure, but we'll see for sure later on. And there's my little wall coming up at the third base. There's a gateway, and I think I just close this off with another gateway, and it's just harder for units to run up in this direction. Of course, they could try to run in here and kill off the Nexus if he has enough of those roaches. Strange getting more and more roaches out on the field. Let's take a look at the units tab. He has 9 larvae, 43 drones, and that's a little bit under of where he would like to be, especially against a Protoss player with an almost even amount of workers right now. There's a transfer of workers out to the third base. I finally do have a couple of units out in the field. There's the upgrades coming up for me. Once again, another pylon going to be powering this cannon just in case this outside pylon does get killed off. Another gateway now on the way, and Strange continuing to make roaches and queens. Looks like he may be going to try some pushing here with those roaches. He does see my expansion with this Overlord, and that is very well saturated. Looks like I transferred a few too many probes. +2 now finishing up for my army, which is extremely small. And there's, I think I finally see that Overlord. No, looks like I don't see that Overlord for quite a long time. Robotics Bay now on the way. And essentially, Strange is letting me do whatever I want for the first few minutes of this game. Actually, that's a little bit more than a few. That's 11 minutes of letting me do whatever the heck I please. Another gateway on the way, as well as additional cannon and another photon cannon, as well as another robotics facility over here. Strange is trying to kill off these rocks, those that is advantageous to him. Of course, Colossi do like to use these narrow chokes here, and of course these ramps are still quite narrow, so he will want to try to keep his army out of those spaces. Else the Colossi will rip them to shreds. Tunneling claws now on the way for those roaches. Strange has quite the large army of roaches, and it looks like he will be pressuring my third base. And what I really should be doing is making a lot of units, but it's just not something that I'm doing, and that's really bad. There's a first Colossi now on the way, and I'm also not spending my money very well. Climbing up to 700, another Colossi on the way. And the extended thermal lance coming up, and now I figured out that I'm in trouble. The two stalkers getting taken out immediately. Another warpin coming down here. The cannons quickly fall, and the gateways looks like they will fall too. The roaches now pulling back a little bit. He's trying to kill off these production facilities, just making sure that I can't get any additional warpins. I am warping and